Why? 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 Why this? Why that? Why is this way? Why do I have to be this? Why do I have to adhere to what you have to say? So on and so forth. The question why is only one word with 3 letters in it, spelled W-H-Y ? And it is a key question that really says a lot about Aquarian energy. Now there is a low frequency and a high frequency, a low octave and a high octave, a low road, a high road. When it comes to zodiac signs, I know some astrologers say that they call it frequencies, like I know the astrologers, I know Rebecca Goldsmith calls things frequency. Deborah Silverman calls it a low road. Like something else. But whatever term you use. But so you're not going to entirely like this, but I'm going to say it anyway. Astrology is not an excuse. This is the one thing that you don't want to do this Aquarius season. Is that Aquarius season is not a time to rebel. That's the low road of Aquarius. Right there. Rebelling. Cutting yourself off from other people. Beating to the beat of your own drum. And where are you going to get in life? If you rebel, there may be chances that people may not like you, that it might really hurt the very important matters of your life, like your job, your education. I mean, so many things. There's so many negative things with rebelling. Aquarius, at the low road, rebels. It's fixed air. No, I'm not going to follow you. I'm going to march to the beat of my own drum. I don't care what you think. Instead of rebelling, the high road of Aquarius is the humanitarian. The high road of Aquarius is the one who is very, very broad-minded, very advanced, very curious, interested in humanitarian issues. Not only that, it doesn't need to be a humanitarian issue. If I didn't say this before, it's really, really generous, open-minded, very charitable energy, and wanting to learn and really wanting to hear what others have to say, what others have to say as an individual. Expressing themselves and their ideals in an individualistic way. There's a difference between that. There's a difference between expressing yourself and doing things which are very Aquarian if you think about the themes of Aquarius, but you're not rebelling at the same time. You know, during these 30 days, I don't know your experience, but let's just imagine that you happen to be, and this is just a generic example, you happen to be in an economics classroom. And you have seen videos, maybe, you've read things, because Aquarius, it's light energy, it's flighty. You know, it's that energy of you want to learn, you want to read, see documentaries, all of those types of things like that. You know, and also rules, you know, the digital world, technology, new advances in technology. Well, anyway, you know, you're in an economics classroom. And instead of disrupting the class, instead of interrupting and standing up and just doing your own thing, deciding, you know, why should I read this? Why do I need to learn about this? Why do I have to be here? Why can't I read about it in this form? Why can't I learn about something different? Why can't I read about something different? Why can't I listen to something else? Be in another place. Well, you can ask those questions, but I'm not so sure about it. Because it may get to the area of it being rebelliousness. Rebelliousness is not healthy. It cuts you off from others, and we're all social creatures. We all are in a community. Aquarius is communities. It is not about rebelling and cutting yourself off from others. It is a detached energy, but a connected energy. The glyph of Aquarius is two waves that are connected but detached. You know, I'm sure that there are ways that you can get outside of the box but still stay inside the box. Okay, let me clarify. The box, quote unquote, is the world. The box is the world. The box is the world. The box is full of civilizations. It is full of history. It is full of culture. It is full of knowledge. It's full of different faces and places and spaces. That's the box. Just going out of the box, well, that's a mindset. That's a perspective. You think that the box is small when it's actually huge. And this is a mindset. Maybe you are expanding your mind beyond what you have expanded it to, what you have stretched. I don't know. Other points in time in the year. Maybe it's a shift of how you view things. Maybe sitting in that classroom, you don't rebel. You don't speak out and say negative things that would be rebellious. You follow. You go along with authority, go by the book, but that's not what it's about. It's really about sitting in the classroom, for example, and opening your mind, getting engaged, sitting in there and applying yourself to what you're learning. Listen, learn, absorb the information, and getting along with others, seeing their perspectives while they're having an in-class discussion, expressing your own perspectives on the issue at hand. You can't express yourself without rebelling. And that is, I think, a key for Aquarius, expressing yourself and being individualistic. And, and here's the deal about rebelling also. Not only does it cut you off from other people, but when you rebel, your mind closes. Aquarius is collective air. Let's open the mind. Let's open the mind and engage the mind. And, that's what it's about. So, you can do this even if you're in circumstances where you absolutely cannot go against authority. It is about going along with that, but being open-minded to what you're doing, even if it is difficult, even if it is boring. You can explore your own things on, your own time. But asking, why am I doing this? What is the value of this? And instead of, as I said, completely going against it, this is not right, this is not who I want, this and that. Cooperate and know that Aquarius is a humanitarian sign. Rebelling is not. The word rebelling is not the same as saying compassionate. Period. Serve humbly. As I said, it's charitable energy as well. So, that's what I want to say about the next 30 days. And maybe next time, it's really channeling. And, and the high road of the sign can really, really be through also the opposite sign. So if Aquarius is negatively detached, if Aquarius, at the lower octave of it, negatively detached, Aquarius rules astrology, all these types of things, is I'm marching to the beat of my own drum. I'm not going to be the arrow that is going to, I'm not going to be the paper that's going to go on the same path. When Leo is all about you putting yourself out there, expressing yourself, and really caring what others think, and opening up to others. Having the humility, respect, and openness to listen to others. And, again, so, for example, next time, Sun in Pisces, which is very mystic, and you want to, meditate and do all of those things, but Virgo says you have got to get down to earth. You have got to, do the, what are your habits? How do you need to manage your health? How do you need to manage your life? What are the details of your life that you need to do? What are the things that you need to do? And how can I serve humbly with using the practical steps? with using doing practical things for others, serving others. Pisces is compassionate and giving and all of that. But doing it so in a way that is realistic for if you were to go out in the workforce. Life is not something where, it's not necessarily a Darman film all the time. You can just merge with anyone and, no, there are practical things. And, use Pisces energy, but express the energy through its polar opposite, which is Virgo. Get down to earth. Get your head out of the clouds. What are the practical steps that you need to accomplish? This and that. North Node in Taurus. Aquarius square Taurus. Aquarius. No, I don't want to do that. I want to rebel. Taurus North Node. You need to be grounded. What is practical? Let's calm down. Let's be in the moment. What's down to earth? Steady routine, slow routine. I could go on, but I just want to say that. So, rebel by not rebelling this Aquarius season. How about that?